Welcome everyone, this is Yasser Al-Wasifi from Learn Dental series. In this episode we will continue our discussion about ceramic indirect tooth color restorations, especially those machined ones. I would like firstly to declare that I don't receive fees, compensation or royalties from the sales of any of the products shown or discussed. Also, this presentation has not been sponsored by any company, agency or organization and is only prepared for educational purposes. Also, this presentation is copyright protected and could not be transmitted by any means unless you get a prior permission from the author. We are expecting to continue our identification and discussion about different techniques and types of indirect tooth colored restorations. Already we classified them into two categories. One according to the type of material, one of composite resin and the other is from ceramics. Already we discussed the different techniques for composite resin construction of indirect tooth colored restorations, either by direct indirect technique or complete indirect technique or chair side technique. And for ceramics we used either feldspathic porcelain inlay and onlay, the old default one, and we used lost wax technique to ensure proper marginal or accurate marginal fitness, either by castable glass dichroic or hot pressed ceramic. Then we go in our discussion forward to discuss machined ceramics. And the difference between different types of machined ceramics is how to transmit the picture of your cavity details into your system or your copy milling machine. We discussed a technique using optical impression and by the help of CAD/CAM technology, which was CEREC 1, and today we discuss another technique, which is the CELAY system that uses tracers. Actually, CELAY system is manufactured in a trial to overcome the difficulty in CAD/CAM technology and the difficulty in the digital system of CEREC techniques, and designed to produce a simplified high precision milling machine. Actually, it is not a digital one, it is just using a tracer to copy and duplicate the picture of your fitting surface and outer anatomy by the help of pro inlay or what is similar to wax pattern. It is similar to that of recreating or duplicating any key when you lost or when you would like to get an extra spare key for any door or any car. Okay, you go for the workshop where he fixed your blank key at a fixed place in an arm, okay, while the other side he already fixed the original key. Once the tracer is passing along the indentations of your original key, at the same time as you are fixing your spindle and all are fixed in a fixed relation, in other side there is a saw which will cut the same indentations in your blank key, and this is the way you are duplicating your key. For CELAY system it is similar to that idea. If you notice that you have this blue one to the left is what is called pro inlay, and it is similar to wax pattern, where the tracer is pathing along it, tracing all the dimensions and all the details of fitting surface and of anatomical form of your tooth, whereas the other side, which is fixed at the same table, there is a block of porcelain where also at the same spindle of the tracer there is a cutting drill which will cut the same feature that will be traced at the same moment. That's why you don't have any digital components that help you in design or help you in correction or help you in manufactures. At the same time you are tracing a part or a surface or an area of your pro inlay, at the same time and at the same moment it will be carved or grinded from the block at the other side by the help of a diamond cutting tool. Then the steps of fabrication is very simple: cavity preparation and lining if needed. Here lining is not only for pulp protection like that for CEREC system, but also to block out undercuts, because here you get impression, normal impression with elastomeric material that could record these undercuts, okay, and may lead to fracture of enamel margins or whatever above these undercuts. That's why you are in need to block out undercuts in this system. Okay. Then removable die construction, and on these removable die we are constructing a blue inlay from blue composite resin. It's not from wax B to avoid any scratches from the force of tracing. It should be harder enough in order to withstand the force of tracing without changing the dimensions or without changing the created anatomical form. And the accuracy of your inlay will depend on the accuracy of constructing your pro inlay. Then this pro inlay is responsible for the marginal adaptation and the anatomical form of created for this restoration, as well as the fitting surface accuracy of your restoration. Then the pro inlay is traced. To ensure that you are tracing all the area and all the features and anatomical features of fitting surface and outer surface of your inlay, it is powdered with white powder. Why? Because when the tracer is run along your surface, it will erase this white powder, denoting the blue color of your pro inlay and indicating that this area is properly traced. At the same time, from the other side of the spindle, it is carved or cut from the block of your ceramic. That's why you need an indication that you are already tracing all the surface. This is indicated by erasing the blue powder and clarifying the blue color of your pro inlay. At the same time, milling of restoration is done by a turbine that is moved along with your tracer, okay, as it is fixed at the same spindle, that will reproduce the surface anatomy, occlusal surface anatomy, fitting surface, and all the margin. Those are the components of the system, including the milling machine with the stylus, classified into two components, one for the stylus and one for the milling, and both of them you are fixing the pro inlay and ceramic block at the same table, and the stylus and the cutter are fixed to the same spindle and moves with each other as the tracer indicates the surface anatomy and the fitting surface of your restoration. Those are the cutting tools used, and those are the ceramic blocks that could be used. This is the pro inlay fixed in its place, and the tracer is completing its job by tracing all the fine details. That's why it appears blue, and this is the completed restoration, typically similar to that, and you could note that they are placed at the same angle, at the same level. This also another photograph showing the block, how it is cut to reproduce the surface anatomy. This is the final restoration, and the final restoration cemented into place. If we would like to evaluate this system, it has the same advantages. Okay, it has too many advantages, including precisely fit ceramic restorations that can be done in one visit. No need for laboratory technician, just depends on how accurate you create your pro inlay. Okay, and the process takes very short time, about 12 to 13 minutes when compared to filled specific and die-core and hot pressed ceramic. But when compared to CELAY system or digital systems, it took about 5 minutes more. Okay, disadvantages is similar to that for CELAY, except for no technique sensitivity of optical impression. You don't use optical impression at all. No initial high cost. Actually, you don't have any digital component or any sophisticated software that needs you to pay too much. Then comes much more sophisticated but more accurate and advanced technique, which is the KaVo ARCTICA system, as representable for systems used scanners. In this system, it is a much more advanced one that combined milling and grinding, okay, with flexibility and accuracy. What is meant by flexibility? Flexibility means that you could use this system either with optical camera or with tracer, okay, with a scanner, Okay, this is flexibility in dealing with transmitting the picture of your or the details of your cavity preparation to the system. Okay, also flexibility in the types of preparations and the types of restorations that could be produced, flexibility with different types of materials, either wax, titanium, zirconium, ceramics. All of these are considered as flexibility with the same accuracy. That's why your system composed of a scanner and multi-CAD software system and ARCTICA elements, which are the blocks you will use, including wax, including plastics, including polymers, including composite, ceramics, whatever you could imagine, and finally the milling machine or the engine. This photograph shows you the different components of the system. Then comes first component is the scanner. Scanner where you have a tripod or a table that you could fix your model or cast, okay, just to be scanned with a stripped light projection, not continuous light projection, because the stripped light allows you to get all the fine details in critical areas in your model, and you could move your model in different directions. At the same time, the photos that captured could be transmitted immediately to complete the puzzle of your photograph, and you will see this now in your display system until you get a full 3D picture, okay, and you are satisfied by the result you get. What about infection control? Especially you are using different models constructed from different impressions from different patients. The system has an internal ultraviolet disinfection system. That's why it ensures hygienic handling. At the same time, reading the image will not take more than 5 to 8 seconds to be completed. In this short clip, you could note the stripped scanning of light, okay, stripped light projection that allows you to detect even the critical areas and fine details. Here you could move the tripod or the table in different directions, and you could get a real-time scanning of your picture, okay, until you get satisfied, okay, by the results, and okay, until it is completed. Then comes the multi-CAD system. Multi-CAD system is a software package that enables you to design, gives you suggestions, gives you ideas about the required restorations and the materials, okay? And this system collect all the parameters and all the data you entered for the case and provides you with suggested plans for constructing your restoration. And also it allows quick visualization and realization of the design. You could examine it and you could modify it either manual or digital as you would like. Okay, it's a great flexibility of the system, allows you to construct multiple restorations including copings, crowns, inlays, onlays, frameworks, bridges, even tapered crowns, veneers, abutments. Okay, all of these are allowed. Just you enter your case, okay, name it and save the file, okay, of your scanned model, okay. You could save it, and again you could go to work at any time you have a spare time to work with it, okay. It is not a must to work immediately after you scanned your model, okay. Then in this model, upper and lower arches of the same patient, you are selecting the tool, selecting that restoration, and it gives you a real-time visualization of the design. At the same case, you could design multiple restorations at the same time. And what is amazing or what is outstanding of this system is the virtual articulator that enables you to examine the occlusion of your proposed restorations before construction. And you could select from varieties of articulators according to the manufacturer and according to the type of articulator you prefer, either fully adjustable or semi-adjustable. It allows you to enter all the data, all the parameters related to the patient. Then in such a case, it's a case of the same patient where there are different designs that could be manufactured or constructed at the same time for the same case, okay, like single crown for the incisor teeth, bridge, fixed orthodontics for the upper left quadrant, then multiple inlays and onlays with a full coverage for a molar tooth. Okay, all of these could be constructed and designed and constructed at the same time. Then comes the elements. You have a great options to choose from them, including titanium, zirconium, glass, ceramics, plastics, even as a temporary, and wax. Finally, the engine, which provides a great flexibility in use and a great accessibility. This system includes 14 different grinding tools for manufacturing of different processes from different materials. Also, it provides a great accessibility to be connected for different commercial intraoral cameras and different desktop scanners. You are not tied by the same system. You could get only the milling machine, and you could upload your software in a Windows-based system or any other system, okay, regardless it is the same manufacturer or not. Okay, the machine, what's amazing is it has a 5-axis motion. 5-axis motion, how it comes already, the spindle that hold your block moves in back and forth, right to left. Okay, those are XYZ axis. Okay, and at the same time the block itself inside this holder could rotate, and this is the 4th axis, while the engine spindle, which contains a cutting tool, can move in different axes, right and left, and then the total is 5 axes. When evaluating this technique, it's high cost effectiveness investment. Why high cost effectiveness? Because it, although it has an initial high cost, but the cost effectiveness is high, and it's considered as a great investment in dental production labs. Why? Because you have a variety of applications, variety of treatments, and variety of materials are available to be constructed by this system. Not only that, when you are considering other digital systems, you used the block once, but here you will discover that you could cut 8 blocks at the same time. It allows you to do this, okay, and each block could be used for construction of multiple restorations according to the surface area of it, because the system allows you to calculate the needed material for your workpiece, and if there is a remnant of the block that could be used for another piece. If you used a large block, okay, you could save the wasted material by designing 2 workpieces if it allows this, if the thickness allows this, of the same block. Okay, suppose you have laminates. If you arrange them, okay, in a good way, and the system allows you this, then the block could be used at the same time to cut from it about 3 to 4 laminates. Okay, that's why it provides high flexibility to do multiple restorations at the same time, maximum precision combined with easy handling. Especially you have 5-axis motions that provides you maximum precision for reproduction of surface anatomy and fitting surface. Its disadvantage is the high initial cost, but the most important one is the sophisticated software that needs too much training time and needs too much update of the system, and every time you need to be trained in using this. This clip showing you a preview about the system and system components. Number 1 is the auto scan that provides you with perfect precise scan. This is the stripped light projection from different directions that allow you to scan even critical areas precisely, and this is the real-time photograph of your model that is transmitted to your AutoCAD system. This is the virtual articulator, and how could you move it to examine the heaviness of occlusal pressure, and you could note that in the upper that there is a color scheme about what should be removed and what should be left Okay, you could choose from different types of articulators as you would like. This is the elements, and this is the final restoration cut from smaller block. And this is another block of zirconia that you could cut many pieces at the same time. You have different grinding pins, 14 grinding pins with a high precision. You could upload up to 8 blocks to be cut at the same time, okay, for different restoration, for designing and reconstructing different restorations. This is how you could select the job, okay? You could finish your design and save it to be constructed at any time, okay? Then you come back to your archive or where you saved your job, okay? Select the material, select the job, select the magazine of cutting tools that you will use. This video showing you how you could get the maximum use of your block. Okay, you could put here in this block more than one piece if you would like. And suggested to you, it enables you to view it in 3 dimensions. Now when you move it, it is out of your block, then come again to cut it, and you could place more than 2 pieces. Okay. Finally, I would like to express my deepest appreciation and gratitude to the cohort of NENT 35 at Taiwan University, especially female students, who showed a great performance in the required assignment titled KaVo ARCTICA system as required in the course of Clinical Operative Dentistry RDS 430 at academic year 2018. All you have seen are quoted from their presentations and flowered by their effort, especially 3 of them who are now great dentists in the Saudi market. Dental markets, those are Dr. Asma Abdul Wahid Bakkari, Dr. Wahood Abdurrahman Al Hazmi, and Dr. Sumaya Sanad Salim. Then coming the question, what's else? When you imagine the improvements of using artificial intelligence in the digital dentistry, okay, now we are constructing restorations by subtracting a bulk from our block, okay, and this is already ensures that there will be a loss of material, okay, and a waste of material because you're already having a great bulk which is carved and subtracted to the shape you are required for your work piece. But now surely it will be another shift, there will be another shift to additive construction rather than subtractive one, okay, by 3D printing is expected to be introduced into the digital dental market as soon as possible, as already 3D printing is now introduced into the field of human body prostheses, including arms, limbs, okay, and other human body prostheses. Finally, those are the articles I had used in preparing this presentation. If you would like to get much more information, you could select any one of them and read them. All of them are available online as a free access one. You will not feel hard to get anyone. It will be available easily from any open source library. Okay, and finally, those are the textbooks I used in preparing this presentation. Please feel free to ask me, as your questions are welcome 24/7. You could ask your inquiry by commenting to this video and I will reply to you as soon as possible. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and activate the notification to get all the updates. Those are my contact info. Also, I would like to thank you for assigning this time to listen to me. Until we meet again. Thank you. Yasser Al-Wasifi.